All right, so see how much you'll be able to hear all this. So I'm just starting up the top of the window. I've got it wound down so I can get to this piece first, and just using a scraper. Actually, before I do that, I guess we can edit that out. I might want to put on my reading glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Just trying to find the edge of the film, just so I've got somewhere to start from. I'm going to just try heating that up a little for a start. So yeah, just using a hairdryer, and this will be noisy. Just to soften that a little, hopefully. There we go. Not quite what I was looking for, but you get the idea. All right, try that again. And if it's too hot to handle on the side you're working, just heat the glass from the other side. Just takes a little bit longer. Still need to find myself a proper edge. There we go. The heat softened that up a little. This worked so much better previously, of course. All right, we'll try it again. Once you've got a large enough piece to start with, you can peel it all off. Yeah, that's applying very little pressure, and that is just peeling off easily. We're not going to get all the glue, but I'll show you what I do with the glue aspect of it in a minute. All right, now you can see that's working way better. And I've got enough to work with, so we'll just continue working it from the front now. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way of the heat. Hitting it from the other side of the glass works really well. It just takes a little bit longer to warm it up. So that's all good. That's coming along. I think I'll just go back to this side. Yeah, it's nice and soft. Just so I can get, yep, there we go, in underneath, and that's just peeling off really easily. I want to try and keep this together as one piece. All right, should be enough. Heating it from the other side. Yeah, that's working really well. Well, I'm happy with that anyway. There might be a better way of doing it, but I'm not aware of it. All right, and off we go. So yeah, just running the heat up and down the edge of the film that's coming off. Probably don't put too much heat in one spot. I don't think a hairdryer would get hot enough to cause issues with your glass, but who knows, but away we go. But you can see that just falling away with hardly any pressure on the film at all. Once you get down to this edge, I better wind the window back up. Before I do that, I'll just get the very top of the glass over on the left here, which is just out of shot at the moment, so bear with me. All right, I've pulled that down. Before I wind the window all the way back up there, I'm just going to clean some of the glue away from the edge that'll be recessed into the door frame. To get rid of the glue, all I'm using is methylated spirits, if you're in Australia, metho. It seems to work pretty well. What I'm doing first is I've got a microfiber cloth, which you want a pretty liberal amount of fluid on there. The wetter it is, the easier it cuts through the glue that's left on the glass. If it's too dry, it'll just stick. And just be cursing yourself. Yeah, just make sure it's pretty wet, which hopefully you can see. But yeah, the wetter it is, the easier it is to just get through to that glue that's on there. cleaning the back as well, because otherwise you can't tell if you've got all the glue from the front. Right, turning it over to a cleaner part, the other side of the cloth, which is a bit cleaner, so it'll take a bit more of the glue off. Turning it again to part inside that I've hardly used, just to take off a bit more of the residue of the glue that's there. And that'll do for now. Right, just wind up the window and continue. All right. We'll just be rough and do that. We might just edit it out later on, who knows? Or we might just leave it in as it is. All right, away we go. For the film that's behind the window, behind that piece of trim, I suppose you could take that off. But I found if you put a bit of heat into it here, being careful not to put too much heat on the other plastics, but if you put a bit of heat into there and a bit of tension on the film, it just comes out. You need to adjust that down so you can see what I'm doing. Great camera work. And you see how it's just pulling away from any of the film that's behind the window, just with the overflow, I suppose, of the heat going down that way. Alright, being rough with the camera again. There we go, just moving it across so we can see what we're doing. And then across again. Fantastic camera work. Oh! So yeah, just get rid of that. So alternating between the front of the film, perhaps holding the film that way so the heat kind of stays in there, or the back of the film, just whatever suits. And moving the camera again. Awards for camera work. still in shot. Probably should have got a GoPro. That might have been easier for shots like this. Anyway, you get the gist. And again, for this area, you just want to push a little bit of heat kind of down around the corner. I don't want to drop the window down at all because this glue is really sticky and it affects the window, puts a bit of load on the winder. So just to, look at that. Spoke too soon. All right, so that's the film off, which I think was pretty much straightforward. We'll just adjust this again. All right, so we're back to the cloth, the microfiber cloth. We're trying to find a relatively clean side. Clean enough anyway for getting most of the glue off. And you do want it pretty wet. All right, because the wetter it is, it's just the easier it cuts through the glue. Once it starts getting a bit wet, sorry, a bit dry, you've got a bit more resistance, which you can see is happening there. So just keep it wet, work through the edges of it, just getting off the bulk of the glue that's there. Yes, it's smearing a film of glue over the window, but we're just taking it off in stages. I might just turn that around. I'll put a bit more metho on it. Yeah, pretty wet because otherwise it grabs like it just did then. When I was toying with the idea of doing this, I was wondering what kind of cleaner to use. I have some lacquer thinners, but I thought that was probably too much, whereas I think the metho's a pretty gentle choice, and it seems to cut through the glue pretty easily. That's on the outside. All right, I'm just going to turn that around, try and find a cleaner spot. This cloth's already done about, well, the rest of the car, so it's kind of got glue residue all over it. I'll wet it down again. And just getting the bulk of the glue off the glass. Just quickly going to have a crack at the other side. All right. So if we have a look, we're not finished yet, but you can still see you've got glue smeared on the glass. And that's okay, because we just finished the first step. Right. So getting myself another cloth that's cleaner. It doesn't have any glue residue on it at all. Wetting it down again with the metho. Okay, and we're just re-wiping the entire window again with another wet cloth with the metho on it. So just with each passing, you're pulling more of the glue residue off the glass. Now there's an easy way to do this. I don't know, but this isn't too bad. It's not hard work. It's just a couple of passes. All right, so we've done that. And I think you can see we're getting there. Shonky camera work. So again with the cloth, I'm going to turn it to the inside, just so I have another surface that doesn't have any glue on it at all. And metho. And you can see that's a pretty wet application of metho. And getting off the last vestiges of the glue, hopefully. Turning that round to the other side, because there's no glue on that. And having a quick wipe the outside of the window. Used to be you could clean glass on cars, or just glass generally, fabulously with methylated spirits and newspapers. But now newspapers have sort of some weird plant-based ink. It just doesn't seem to work as well anymore. Right, we'll have another look. So you can see that we've still got some streaks there, but hopefully just having a crack at it with a brand new cloth and an actual glass cleaner. All right. So clean cloth, some marking on it, it's been through the wash, so it should be all right. And just a spray and wipe, just a glass cleaner, which is probably not the best, but it should get us to where we want to be. All right, that's looking pretty good. Get the outside, hopefully, while we're here. All right. Come back to the inside and using the dry side of the cloth. Just to try and polish it up a little bit better. I think I need to invest in a product that's specifically for glass cleaning. Either that or be less fussy. All right, having a crack at the outside. I don't need perfection, but we've gotten rid of the horrible tint on there, which was just completely a mess. So now you can actually see the 1960 Willys wagon behind it perfectly. But yeah, that's pretty good. So it's 25 minutes on the video. Probably a little bit less time just to do it, but I'm quite happy with it. Alright, see, that's it. That's how I removed the crap tinting on my 98 Grand Vitara. So, yep, that's about it. Thanks folks, bye.